Yes, guys. Welcome back to another episode of El Bins. Hopefully, you guys are all well. We've changed the time, we've changed the date, we changed the day again. I mean, we can never stick to a time, can we, bro?
Sorry.
We do try, but yeah, I think this is going to be our new set time, Monday 11 a.m. before the
New old.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, big up to you guys, man. Make sure you guys are smashing up the likes. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel as well if you're new. Not long now until the pain along starts. Tomorrow night, City versus Real Madrid. Going to be crazy. We don't know what to expect. We think we know what to expect, but we'll see. I hope you guys are all well. Smash the likes on the way. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Make sure you guys are subscribed to Nobbins as well. Nobbins, it's a bit of a big test tomorrow to see if we've learned anything during the last 6-7 months.
Yeah, and Madrid are in a very odd position themselves as well, aren't they? Like it's weird for them to be having to play a playoff in the same way that it's weird for City to have to be playing a playoff. They've got, I think their injury crisis situation might be even worse than ours, because do they even have a working senior centre-back right now? I don't actually know if they do, because I think Rudiger's been, I don't know if he's confirmed as being out for both legs, but certainly the first.
I think he's out for both. He's got a hamstring injury, so I'd be amazed if he's back for the second leg.
So, and Militao's also, he's been out for the whole season, hasn't he? So I don't actually know what the back four is going to be for them. So I'm sure we'll talk about how City should set up. I actually don't know how Real Madrid are going to approach the game, because I think normally you'd look at how City have been the past few weeks, the past few months, the past season, and you go, right, take the game to them, we can beat them, easy peasy. But given Madrid's injury issues, I wonder whether their strategy will just be almost just obviously if you can get a win at the Etihad, great. But basically, just a draw would be a great result for them, and then take it to their ground and then win it there. And so I don't know how pushy they're going to be in terms of like trying to dominate the ball or trying to take the game to us, and that would inform how we should approach offensively. Because if we think that they're going to do that, and I think they are probably going to do that based on all their injuries and whatnot.
Yeah,
and that tells you that certain players probably shouldn't start, because certain players rely on space to run into and exploit. If there isn't any space to exploit, then they probably shouldn't play. So it's a hard one. I actually don't know how they're going to set up. I might be totally wrong. They might just go for it. I don't know. I don't know why.
I don't think so. I think you're probably right. I think that they're going to sit back, defend, and try and hit us on the break, especially with it being at the Etihad. You know what I mean? Like for them, they're looking at it going, hang on a minute, what's the point in taking the game to City at the Etihad? What's the point? If we're going to take a game to him, we might as well do it in the second leg when we're at the Bernabeu. So let's just go to City. Let's just defend. We'll try and hit them on the break. We'll probably get quite a few chances on the break because we've got Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. and it's Manchester City.
Yes.
And if we defend, we'll make it difficult for City to break us down. And we'll try and get out of there with the result that is, keeps the tie intact and taken back to the Bernabeu. Hopefully by that point, they'll have Rudiger back. This is obviously their point of view. Hopefully by that point, they'll have Rudiger back and maybe some other players back. And then they can maybe full send it at the Bernabeu. I just don't understand why they'd come to the City Stadium tomorrow. Why on earth would Real Madrid come to the Etihad tomorrow and try and take the game to us? They didn't do that last year when they had a better team because they had less injuries. So why would they do that this year when they've got a squad full of injuries? And actually playing defensively almost suits them in terms of getting goals, because then they can play counter-attacking football, which is our kryptonite and our major vulnerability. So I think that's what they'll do. The funny thing is maybe City almost in this game probably don't want to have too much of the ball, because they obviously know, and we obviously know, that if we have the ball, and we push them up, then we're going to be vulnerable on the counter-attack. But I guess there's nothing really we can do about that. We can't just not have the ball. We're going to have it and trust ourselves. So it is going to be an interesting game. It's certainly going to be an interesting game to see how both managers set the sides up. But I would imagine that you're probably right. I think Real Madrid will probably sit back, probably defend, and try and hit us on the break, because otherwise I just don't see any other real... I don't understand why they would do anything else,
Yeah, because again, it's a game of two legs, isn't it? So it's in their benefit to just, quote, survive until the Bernabeu, and then they can do whatever they want because they're in their ground. So it just makes it always makes the most sense in these fixtures, especially if you're the away side in the first leg, to be overly cautious, just to make sure you don't lose, because you can always remedy that issue at your own ground when you're in the ascendancy. So my instinct is that they will be very defensive, in which case it's incredibly unfortunate that we don't have Doku available, because this would be the perfect game for someone like him, because he's
You
great.
think so?
In terms of like breaking down defensive sides, yeah. Doku's the sort of player who wants to be taking on those teams. A player like Marmoush is the opposite. Marmoush is someone who's going to want to have a lot of space to run into. So again, don't know if we're going to get into a team later, but that's why I think it would be a mistake if Marmoush started, because if our starting point is there's no space to run into, and we know that Marmoush is a runner who runs into space, then Marmoush seems pretty redundant.
So let me predict what you're going to say. Then you're saying Doku and Foden as your wingers.
Doku's not available, so it's going to have to be Savio, isn't it?
If they were available, you'd go Doku and Foden, wouldn't you?
I'd have Foden in the team. I wouldn't have him out wide, but yeah.
Okay. Would the starting position be out wide and then sort of invert it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's funny, because I wouldn't start either of those two players.
Okay. You'd start Marmoush then?
Yeah, I think I would. I think that for me is the most tricky one. That for me is the most tricky one. I'm starting Savio, and I hear what you say about the space, but Savio's also a bit of a techie player. Savio can take players on, right? We've seen that in a few different games. So for me, I think Savio has to start. The question that I have is who starts next to him, or who starts on the other side, not next to him, Marmoush or Foden. And I'm finding it really, really tricky to choose which player to start, because for me, Nobbins, in this game, I think we've got to score. I think we've got to beat them by at least 2 goals.
Right.
In my head, that's what we got to do. We got to be going to the Bernabeu with a 2-goal lead, right? And I therefore have to go for the player that I think's more likely to score. And I think Marmoush for me is probably more likely. So I'd start Marmoush on the left, Savio on the right, and I'd play Kevin De Bruyne in the middle. I'd drop Foden. However, I'm finding it really tricky, like, to choose Marmoush over Foden. It's a really, really tricky one. But at the moment, that's what I'm thinking. I know it's a mad sort of take to drop Foden, but that is what I'm doing at the moment.
Yeah, I think for me, I would play Marmoush if the starting point wasn't what we established earlier, which was there's not going to be any space.
Right.
Who's better in small spaces? Foden by a fair margin. We know Marmoush's first touch isn't amazing or exceptional. The other thing for me is what are the most likely scenarios that we're going to score a goal against a side who drops deep and only wants to defend? We've established there's not going to be any, because people saying, oh, let Marmoush run at the defense. Run into a wall? Like, there's not going to be any space to run into. So if there's not going to be any goals from direct runs, probably the best opportunity to score a goal is what we saw last season at the Bernabeu, for example, where it was from outside the box. There will be space outside the box because they're going to be dropping deep. Therefore, I need my specialist distant shooters on the pitch. So that's another reason why I think probably Foden must start, to be honest.
It is an interesting. I went through the team last night with the chat on a stream that I did, and I did find it extremely tricky to build this in, because we've not really had this a lot this season, have we? Where we're actively discussing players and actively discussing good players that should be left out of the team. You know, whether it's Marmoush, whether it's Foden, whether it's Savio. You know, it's a conversation that we've not had a lot this year. So you know, it's nice that we're in this position. You know that we can.
It's good to have options.
It's good to have these options, man. But it will be interesting to see what Pep does. Pep said after the game, he really hyped. I do think Marmoush is going to start. He said yesterday. What did he say? He said Marmoush didn't score, but he had 4 chances. He was there. The movement is there. I just don't see a world in which he drops Marmoush. I just don't see it, and I think Savio's got to play for me. I think
he's got to play because Doku. I'm pretty sure Doku's not available. Yeah, he hasn't played a minute of football in weeks, has he?
You can't be risking Doku.
He's not going to get started at the Bernabeu. That was just a hypothetical from me. But the best player to take down low blocks is Doku, but he's not available. So yeah, of course, like Savio's the next best option there, definitely.
Yeah. What did you make of Nico Gonzalez? There's a couple of people this morning saying he's been in training, but I still don't think that's true. I think it's fake news. What did you make of him in the 20 minutes that you saw? Someone said your reaction was priceless to the injury. I need to see it.
Yeah, I sort of I don't know if you want to put it on stream. It was quite funny. Yeah, I sort of lost it, to be honest with you, because I was talking about, I was like, obviously, because it was a really good cameo. Just whilst you're guessing that, it was a really good cameo. His positioning was really good in the match. I thought that one lovely. I know that he's not Rodri. I touched it in my analysis video, but there were a couple of really nice Rodri-isms in that match, like that really clever dark arts tactical foul. That means a lot, and we've been missing that this season. There was another one, that switch over to Savio, I think it was, and then Savio to Gundogan, and Gundogan must score.
Yeah.
That is the most Rodri-coded pass that we've seen all season. And Bernardo, Kovacic, Gundogan in those deeper positions don't do that. So it was a brilliant cameo. He was fouled for their goal. I'm amazed.
I think it was a soft decision.
Yeah, no, sadly you're wrong. It is a pretty blatant foul. I'm amazed that there's no VAR, is there? So I'm not amazed, actually, to be fair. So that's a shame, but it was a very good cameo for me. And it's a massive shame that he got injured immediately, and he's not injury prone. And there was a fake transfer marked stat shared on online, which I've since addressed. Some people saying how he missed 385 days last season. That's fake news. Didn't happen. Transfer markets have since updated it. This guy's not an injury prone player, so it was incredibly frustrating for him to get an injury 20 minutes in. Very good cameo.
What was your reaction?
Oh, that's what I was talking about before the mental goal. Oh, McAtee nearly.
Have you already?
Gundogan shouldn't be finished. Isn't it like the 20th minute where he gets injured? Things a bit further. Look at this. Yeah, it's a blatant foul. He bloody molests my star midfielder. He molests him with his knee. Maybe a couple more skips, maybe.
I know you're
biased. No, it is here, yeah.
Again,
and I will be sending a strongly worded letter of complaint. Yeah.
Oh my god. 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 No.
That's funny, man.
You can't be injured, Nico. There is no way. There is no way.
There is a way.
Happening. He has not had an injury since the 22-23 season. He has not had an injury since the 22-23 season. It has been literal years. It has been literal years. You are having a laugh.
Bro, this is too funny, man. He's lost it. This is what City does to you, man.
Oh my god!
I snapped, as you can see.
This isn't real life.
It is.
This is not real life.
It is. Are you okay?
No, I'm not okay. I was just. I was bigging him up.
The arms are funny.
I released my analysis video yesterday. I was happy about for him.
Oh dear.
There we go. And at that point, I go to just double check his injury history, and yeah,
that is funny, mate. It's just, I can't believe it, man. It's just such a joke, bro. Like, we waited for literally 2 years for this player, innit? Ever since Gundogan basically left.
Yeah.
Since Gundogan left at the end of the treble season, we've been waiting for this player. We finally get the player. He's looking decent for the first 20 minutes, and then bang, injured. And it's just like, oh my god, man. It's so tiring. It's so tiring. These injuries are killing us, man. But hopefully he'll be available. There was obviously some fake news going around the internet yesterday saying that he was in training yesterday, which was a
shame.
It was fake news. But I've got a whole. It's a at the end of the day, mate. Yeah, it's an impact injury. So hopefully he's going to be okay. You got to. Honestly, I said this yesterday. People thought I was joking, man. You've got to just give him that load of ibuprofen, man, and like paracetamol, mate, because we actually legit this. We need this guy.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
we actually legit need this.
definitely. I thought. I feel like we can win the game tomorrow if Nico and Ruben Diaz start. I think we can actually get a win, and that might sound mad, but I think it's possible. It's definitely feasible. Without him, almost certainly not a win because the midfield goes back to where it was beforehand, which is one of the weakest in the entire Premier League, or if not the weakest, against players like Jude Bellingham and Camavinga, etc., and we just get absolutely bodied.
Do you think we've got any chance if Nico's not available?
Not to win, no. I reckon we can draw, but not win.
Which is all right, I suppose. I mean, you go to the Bernabeu. Hopefully, Nico will be fit, and maybe you can do a madness. It's not likely, is it? Let's be honest. But yeah, it's so frustrating, man. Chat. It's so frustrating that we finally get him in, and he was looking all right, wasn't he? He was looking decent. That ball that he put over the top for Savinho should have led to a goal. Couple, like you say, a tactical foul. I personally thought that he was a bit weak on that goal. I can't lie. Poor first touch.
But foul's a foul, isn't it?
Yeah, I know you think it's a foul. I don't think it was a foul. I think it's a bit of a soft thing, but I don't know, man. I'm just gutted, bro, because I can't be watching fucking Kovacic and Bernardo or Kovacic and Gundogan against Real Madrid tomorrow, man.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
No, if that does happen, we'll get bodied. Absolutely bodied. We need
the presser's today, right?
Yes, it should be, shouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's usually at like 1 o'clock, 1:30. So that's when we'll find out if Nico Gonzalez is going to be fit. But yeah, chat's not looking good, man. Smash these likes up, people, if you've not done so already. Big up to Massum. Individuality will win it for Madrid. No tactics. Probably right, bro. If they are going to win it, it'll be individual madnesses by Mbappe or Vinny, or maybe Rodrigo if Rodrigo's playing. So yeah, probably Jit, bro. Nico back in training is a huge positive. I don't think he is. I think it's fake news. Because if you're talking about that picture was from before the FA Cup game. Because look at the ball that they were training with.
Yes.
Yeah, the ball that they were training with, was the FA Cup ball. So why would they be training with the FA Cup ball when we've got a Champions League match? So it's an old photo, unless you can prove otherwise. Big up to ALX says Jude, Camavinga, and Federico Valverde against our midfield. Well, the thing is, Valverde might play in defence if they've got no players. People saying that apparently Valverde might be playing right back against City because they literally.
He's going to have to. It's like because now Vazquez is also out, so I think that confirms that he's going to have to be playing there, right? I don't think there's feasibly any other option. Which is good for us because he's a ball of energy, so it's good to have him in defence rather than midfield. It doesn't help us that much because Camavinga's still there, but it is definitely a pro. It definitely is a pro. And big up to Mihail as well, says, I have a theory. Vinicius Jr. made Yaya. Oh, sorry, bro. Vinicius Jr. has made Yaya's shaman curse for us Ballon d'Or loss. So put Huzanov on Vinny to tackle him a bit and return the favour, says Mihail. Here's the thing, bro. We discussed the right back situation yesterday. The right back is also a position in the team, innit? Which is up for debate. We had a chat. Me and the guys in the chat yesterday had a bit of a debate about who should play right back. Is it Stones? Is it Akanji? Is it Rico? Is it Nunes? Or do you put Huzanov in there? To be honest with you, I ain't really massively happy about any of them playing, which is kind of mad. We've got 5 players that can all play right back, and I don't really trust any of them. But I went with Akanji. Yeah.
Just over Huzanov, based off the fact of experience. However, the Huzanov's pace does appeal to me at that right back position. What are your thoughts on the right back?
Kusanov can't play it right back is my view. As I said in my analysis video, he's not got the maneuverability in his torso to play fullback. There's a big difference between being able to run quickly in a straight line and being able to run quickly when you've got to keep stopping and starting and turning.
Agility.
Yeah, exactly. So Kusanov is quick, and that's great, but he's quick in a straight line. He's not quick. He wouldn't be quick at fullback. So I think it would be a big error for him to play. He's also not particularly good at defending out wide either. So I'd be very concerned if Kusana was at right back. I think it makes most sense to play Akanji there. To be honest with you, Diaz has got to start because the plan was for him to come off at half time, wasn't it, against Leeds Orient? Like Pep confirmed that.
Yeah, that was the plan. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's got 45 minutes in his legs. Can he play the full 90? Probably not, but he could probably play 60 or 70, something like that. So yeah, I'd probably, and Stones is available as well, isn't
I
he?
think you've got to risk Diaz for the full 90, Nobbins. Bro, look at what happened against PSG, man.
No, yeah. I think it
You've
depends
got to,
how the
I'm
game's
sorry,
going.
you've got to risk Diaz for the full 90 minutes because if he goes off,
Sure. Yeah.
we're cooked. As per every single shocking game we played this season where Diaz hasn't been in the side, as per PSG when it was 0-0 at half time and we can see 4 goals when he goes off in the second half. You've just got to risk him.
Yeah, hopefully he's fine. Hopefully he's able to do that, of course. But there's a world where we can play a very solid back four for the first time since Nottingham Forest.
I agree.
We could play Gvardiol, Stones, Diaz, Akanji.
It's a solid back four.
That's
whether they get any protection from the midfield will be a different question. We don't know. And obviously, we're hoping and praying that Nico Gonzalez is going to be available for this game. But that is a solid back four, man. That's a solid back four, and I don't know. I don't know, man. Like, I want to believe that we can do it, but the way these
players are available, we can. I think we can.
Yeah, we definitely can. But like the way we can see goals is a madness. But then I have to remind myself that usually that's when Diaz is not in the team, and Diaz will be in the team tomorrow night. So that's definitely a positive, bro. But I don't know. I was saying to the guys last night, for me, I just think we need to go for it in this game because, like I say, I think we need to be taking a 2-goal lead to the Bernabeu, man. I really do, and I think that we will create chances despite Real Madrid probably going to sit back and defend and trying to hit us on the break and making it tricky for us. I do think we'll create chances tomorrow, and I do think we'll create chances in the away leg at the Bernabeu. I think we've got to score goals, bro. I think we've got to just try and outscore the opposition. How many times have we discussed this on this show about we've got to lean into our attack? You know what I mean? I really do believe that that's what we need to do tomorrow. And yes, we'll have vulnerabilities on the defense. Of course we will. Yeah, but we will have vulnerabilities on the defense even if we try and be more conservative. We've done that this year. How many times this year we tried to be a little bit more chill, a little bit more controlled, and we still concede goals? So what's the point? You might as well just go for it, man. And when we get that ball to the forward players, these forward players have to be creating chances for Haaland. And by the way, it's a big night for Haaland as well, mate, because Rudiger's not playing. And Rudiger's sort of like bullied him a few times now, and he's not there tomorrow. So I need Haaland tomorrow night, to bully their defense. Bully them, man. And the creative players have to create. There's no excuses now, listen, this season has not been a good season. But at the end of the day, there's no excuses tomorrow, man. Pretty much everyone's fit in the team. We got all the players back, bar Rodri. Our defense is there. Goalkeeper's back. Haaland's there. Savio's there. Foden's there. There's no excuses, man. There's no excuses tomorrow. We got to pick it up. And we got to try and save this season, mate, because at the moment, it ain't looking good, Brev. But we got to try and save it, man. We can't be getting knocked out in the playoffs. Come on, man. Real Madrid ain't been that great this year either. Yes, they've had a couple of good games here and there, but we've had a couple of good games here and there. So, I don't know, man. I'm a bit nervous, bro. I don't want to get knocked out in the playoffs, man. I want to try and get to at least the quarterfinals, mate.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I'm not nervous because I know this isn't our season anyway, so I'm not particularly overly concerned if we get knocked off from that perspective. I'll be upset if we do, but I'm not going to be like, it's not past seasons where I've got an expectation that we should be winning it. I don't think we're going to win the Champions League this season, in all honesty. But it's massive that, because if we can get even a goal lead to the Bernabeu, then it makes a lot of sense to lean into Marmoush, Haaland, Savio, De Bruyne, players who thrive in transition, and try to pick them off because they're going to need a goal. So then we can use that to our advantage and go, right, actually lean into our amazing, powerful transitional players and threaten them in that way. So that's the ideal situation, even if it's only a goal lead, and then really, really lean into that in the second leg, I think.
Yeah, then we play counter-attacking.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it is a madness. They got 30 till I die. Says, no, guys, if we beat Madrid, we have a great chance of winning. Don't think like that, LB. So say till I die. I'm just saying that we need to make it to the quarterfinals, bro. You know what I mean? LB Grealish might start. Pep said he's a street baller. and he's pleased, I'd be absolutely stunned if Grealish started.
Just on that, yeah. Again, I wouldn't start Grealish. What is interesting though is, have you seen that thing about the amount of players on a yellow card for Real Madrid?
Yes, I have
There's a
seen
lot.
it. Someone put it in the chat before. Let's see if I can
I think
pull
like
it up.
Bellingham certainly. I think Vinicius might be on there as well. There's a lot of their very good players who are on
There you go.
a one yellow away from a suspension. Yeah,
We got
there it
Rachel.
is.
We got Rachel with a
Rachel.
message. Bellingham, Modric, Camavinga, Tchouaméni, Militao, Rudiger, Endrick. Obviously, Militao and Rudiger I don't think are fit anyway.
Yeah. But if we can, I mean, because Bellingham was quite easy to wind up anyway, I feel like, based on our past games with him. So if we can get him somehow booked, Camavinga, that could be
the
big.
thing is, though, we always do this again. Whenever a player gets a yellow card, we just leave him alone. You see this when like we get a fullback booked in a match, yeah. You think, right, take this player on, get him set. No, we don't do it. Remember Mourinho for when he was manager of Spurs, and I think Zinchenko got booked, and there's that clip at half time in it, and Mourinho's going, Zinchenko is booked, take him on every time he goes near you, go down, roll around, blah blah blah. The dark arts. We're the opposite, mate. If a fullback gets injured, like if a fullback gets booked on the opposition team, we don't go near him. We don't go near him, man.
We're gonna have to.
Strange. Very strange that why we do that. I don't fully understand why we do that, man. But that is big, mate. Because say like Bellingham and Camavinga both get suspended.
Yeah. So Camavinga is going to play midfield, right? Because I know sometimes he's played at fullback.
Yeah, I'd imagine if Valverde is playing at right back, Camavinga is going to have to play midfield.
Right. So, and Bellingham's also obviously going to play centrally as well. So I'm looking to my central players to be mad shit houses and get some. I'm looking for my central players to receive it under pressure and get the opposition tight to them and then turn them, get away from them, force a drag. Do you know what I mean?
So that has to be Kovacic or Bernardo Silva.
I suppose so. Or Nico if he's available.
Well, Nico plays anyway, innit?
Or depending how advanced we can get it, or depending on how advanced, for example, maybe we could have like a Foden or Marmoush sort of pinning Camavinga, receive spins, maybe, and goes down quite easily, and just excuse me, just reminds the referee that was the second time he's done that, ref.
Third
time,
we got to do the dark arts tomorrow, man.
I don't care. I want to see that. These are the levels that we are at now. I do not care. We should
English
be.
team. Oh shit, at the dark arts, man, in Europe, man. I swear to God, man. I don't know what it is about us, yeah. We're a woke nation, bro. Because I'll be serious, yeah. When you watch like the fucking Spanish Donnies, yeah, they got they got these dark arts on lock. We're so crap with it.
Savio, to be fair, was, I think in the Arsenal game, he was asking for a yellow card. I normally don't like that, but I'm going to need to see some of that against.
Yeah, we need all that, man. We need the dark arts. Yeah, so, we need to go. We need the media after the game, yeah, to be saying City are a disgrace. City are disrespectful. City this, City. We need Goldbridge to be moaning about our players surrounding the referee. Yeah, if Goldbridge is tweeting that City are bad because we're surrounding the referee and asking for yellows, then we're doing our job right, mate. Yeah,
damn right.
We got to do the dark arts, man. We do, because at the end of the day, yeah, we got to realize that football ability and football performances alone will not get us through, because our footballing ability and footballing performances this season haven't been good enough to get past the Real Madrid. So you have to embrace where you're at. You have to be like, yo, we ain't good right now, so we got to play the game. And we got to do that. Like I say, if Camavinga tackles you, go round on the floor, roll around, man. Get this referee under pressure, mate.
Remind the ref how many times he's fouled you, because totting up process after 3, that should be a yellow card, mate.
Yeah, you need to be on it, mate. Yeah, and there's no excuses, man. These are professional footballers, and the coaches should be saying to the players, this is what you need to do. You need to be shithouses, mate, yeah? And hopefully we do that, and if we do, obviously we have got a chance, mate. Mate, they won't even call a foul. I feel LB really needs to, because that's not how he uses it. Yeah, I don't even know what it means, mate, to be honest with you. I just say it because I like it. Pretty funny word. Not the dark arts are always used against us, so it's got to be our turn. Facts, bro. Facts. Madrid is master of dark arts. Yeah, exactly, mate. The safest scoreline if we get 5 past them tomorrow, says Abaneza. That's why Jack is needed. Maybe, bro. I just don't see it happening. I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
Naz says you have too much respect for Madrid. Look at Barca slapping them with teenagers. No, it's not. No, it's not really about the respect for Madrid. It's about almost a lack of self-respect for my own team, if I'm being completely honest. Because we have been bad, mate. Yeah, we have been, but this is the worst season we've had in a long time. Yeah, so it's not really not necessarily about Madrid. It's about being humble and knowing that my team right now ain't on it, and therefore, we got to do the dark arts, man. Now, the dark arts ain't cheating, man. Nah, the dark arts ain't cheating. I don't think the dark arts is cheating. You don't think the dark arts is cheating, is it? It's just, it's the dark arts. It's not cheating.
No, we're not asking players to fake injuries or dive. We're asking them to just overreact. That's all. There's nothing cheating about. It's not deceiving a referee to let them be aware that I have been fouled here. It would be cheating to pretend you've been fouled. That's not what we're
if
asking.
You have been fouled. Facts. We'll get the Pep comments up in a second, guys. Don't worry, man. What did you make of the game on Saturday then, bro? Weird kickoff time. I don't like that kickoff time, mate. Yeah, I didn't feel the vibe.
That confused me.
Yeah, didn't like the vibe. Didn't get it. Didn't like it. We got the job done. Dude, what did you think of the performance, man? Because I had some sort of mixed comments in my chat. Some people thought we were awful. Some people thought it was actually a good performance. Just the finishing was a bit poor. What did you make of it?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's Leyton Orient in the FA Cup away. It's one of those weird games where it's the same for the Watford game for me. Literally all that matters is winning and moving on and trying to not get any injuries. Obviously, that latter bit didn't happen, obviously. Yeah, Leyton Orient were incredible. And again, I understand it's on the BBC, magic of the FA Cup. Of course, the neutral wants Leyton Orient to do well and the big, bad Premier League side to do badly. I get it, we all want that to happen. If it's not your team, I get it. But yeah, Leyton Orient were bad, and they're in League One, fine. But their goal shouldn't have stood. It was an own goal. They should have had a red card. We should have had a penalty. We could have scored 3 or 4 goals in that first half, but for some mentally bad finishing. The chances were there. I think we generated around 4 XG there or thereabouts. It was an absolutely fine performance, to be honest with you. It was absolutely fine. We deserved to win the game by a fair few goals. 2-1 flattered them. I thought it was fine. I was happy with the individual performances of like Nico. But Kusanov looked good. Hayes looked good in that first half. Marmoush, a little bit upset with some of his touches, but I'm very convinced he will be a fantastic footballer for City.
Apparently, I've seen a couple of people who went to the game, yeah.
Was it like that dog?
They said that pitch was awful. And I don't think the TV angle, because the TV angle was a bit more like bird's eye style, wasn't it? So I don't think we've seen just how bad that pitch was. But I've seen a few people now went to the game, said that pitch was horrific. Said the ball was just constantly bobbling and bouncing up and down on the grass. Which, listen, I'm not complaining about. That's part of football. It's part of the FA Cup. You got to deal with it. It's not a complaint. It's more sort of like it might help understand why some of the passes and maybe some of the touches were not particularly great.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I thought Grealish played well. Thought he played nice. Again, disappointed in like McAtee. I feel like he's sort of been regressing in the past few weeks. It's been a bit of a shame because I like McAtee a lot. And it took bringing on Foden and De Bruyne to win the match. That's not ideal, but I don't care. We were better than them. We deserved to win. People saying it was a shit game. I don't care. I don't really know what you're watching if you thought it was properly shit. We created loads of very good chances to score. And again, they should have been down to 10 men. Their goal shouldn't have counted. We should have had a penalty. I thought it was fine. I feel like, and I understand it's fun. It's fun to be reactive and say how bad City are, whatever, but it's just not honest. The game was fine, and the performance was fine, in my view.
And you got to say, as well, that goal that they scored was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
How often do you see that, mate?
And again, really fun for like a lunchtime kickoff, magic of the FA Cup, the League One side scores a ridiculous goal from the halfway line against the defending champions. It's a wonderful storyline. But again, it shouldn't have counted in any event. And even then, it was so unfortunate that Ortega was in a weird position to start with, and then it goes off his back / booty, whatever it was. So it's just one of those. And again, like even the fact that one of their players won man of the match, I know it doesn't matter, but I've no idea how Grealish didn't win it, for example.
That happens all the time when we play someone, I never see this any other games, man. Whenever we play someone, even if we win, They always get man of the match, man. Fucking weird, bro.
Yeah, and again, once again, I understand it's a League One side. They've done well to not get battered in the game, but that doesn't change the reality that he was not even like the third or fourth best player on the pitch, and Grealish should have won it. That's a shame for him and his confidence, but that's the thing. Any other individuals? Ortega, yeah, we've held the same thoughts on Ortega for a while. Like, he's not good enough to be our number one. Hopefully, everyone else can see that and has been seeing that for the past few weeks and months. He's a good number 2, and that's where it should end. But yeah, overall, fine. It's one of those.
Yeah, I had Savio as my man of the match.
That's fair. Savio also played really well, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, Savio. I think Grealish. I thought Grealish played really well, man. I can't lie. I said that in the player ratings. I said I think he played really, really well. I think some people was being a little bit harsh. I thought he played quite well. Because the thing is, I think sometimes people think that if you praise Grealish, that means they think that you want him to play the next game. It's like, no, don't worry, guys. I can say he played well against Leyton Orient and then say he should be nowhere near the starting 11 for Real Madrid, in my opinion, based off the players that we've got. You know what I mean?
I agree. Yeah.
I also am not being shameless. I see someone say yesterday, but Grealish has got the most chances created in the FA Cup this year. We've also played Salford and Leyton Orient. Again, a bit shameless, really. So, yeah, but listen, it's interesting. Grealish has actually been speaking. I get his quotes up, actually. He's been talking. I feel like we've not heard from Grealish for quite a while, in terms of like comments and that. But this is what he said, guys. Look at this. He said, last year was weird. My daughter was born, but apart from that, it was one of the most difficult years, probably the most difficult in my life for many reasons, on and off the pitch. But it's a new year, a sort of fresh start. Hopefully I can kick on. I feel in my last few games I played, I'm trying to be more involved in goals and assists. I want to start playing more, have that rhythm, the way I was a couple of years ago, playing a lot in a row. I find it difficult at times to come in and out of games, not really playing. Hopefully I can keep training well and playing a few more games, says Grealish.
Well, that's the correct thing to say, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
That illustrates a good attitude, I think. He's saying, he's outwardly saying, I want to play more. I'm trying to do more. I need to keep doing more and keep consistent. That's, that's good. There's no guarantees in football in terms of like starting for City. You've got to, if you're playing like 2, then you're not going to play. So I think that's a good response.
Yeah. So we'll see, man. We'll see if he gets any more game time. Listen, at the end of the day, he might be needed in this. It might be needed in the Champions League. Coming on towards the end of the game, 15, 20 minutes to go. If we're winning and we need a shit house, that's what we need to see. But it's kind of like, exactly. It's kind of like this, though, isn't it? I agree with Brad, man. It's all like, good and that, but you need to do this on the pitch. And granted, he played well against Leyton Orient, and he played well against Salford or whatever. But ultimately, that is Salford and Leyton Orient. The next time you get on that pitch, I need to see more. And if you only get 5-10 minutes at the end of the game, you only get 5 or 10 minutes at the end of the game. Make it count. End the game strong. So then when we go in, he only played 10 minutes, but one Grealish good when he come off the bench, because then that 10 or 15 minutes might become 20 minutes in the next game, and that 20 minutes might become a start. And you got to remember this as well, Whilst obviously at the moment, Savio and probably Doku are ahead of Grealish in the pecking order, I would say that's pretty a fair comment.
Yeah.
Both of these players pick up injuries, and both of these players are extremely young and can go in and out of form. So you just got to be ready, man. I know it can be difficult, man, as a player, when you're not playing. Obviously, Pep talks about it all the time. It's not easy when you're not playing, but ultimately, you have to be ready to impact the game when you come on. And if you come on for 10 minutes and you're like, fuck this, I'm only getting 10 minutes, then you're done. You're dusted. So let's see, man. Let's see what he does, man. But obviously, he said the right thing, but ultimately saying the right thing and end up doing it on the pitch are obviously different things.
Yeah, definitely. He's now in his like sort of, was it first or second season Ake arc, where lots of City fans were saying, why have we bought him? He needs to step up and he needs to improve. And what did Ake do? He did on the pitch, and he became one of our best defenders. So he's now in that situation where he's got to, it's lovely and wonderful to say those things. It's the right things to say. But we need to also visually see it. We need him to prove himself. We need to see that he can bounce back. And if we don't see enough of that this season, then he 100% needs to get sold in the summer. If not, then maybe it's a different conversation to be had.
This is what Pep said about the about the player and that. He said both wingers have been outstanding. Savinho and Grealish were outstanding against Leyton Orient. I'm pleased for Jack. Jack has the sense of the street, a player from the street. Most players, for our fault, the manager, are so academic. Jack is one of those that came to fight in these stadiums when people shout. He's a fighter. I'm really pleased because in the last games he didn't play because Savinho in the last games makes an incredible connection with Haaland for his left foot, but the season is still open. I'm happy for the performance. So, yeah, there you go. That's what Pep's saying. The press conference, guys, is going to be at 1:30, I think. And that's when we'll find out about a lot of people still asking about Nico Gonzalez. Is he going to be fit? That's when we'll find out about 1:30, man, if he's going to be available. But we'll see, mate. We'll see. Ake is available. Again, there was a little bit of chat about whether Ake should start. Could he play next to Diaz? If you're thinking about pushing Gvardiol forward, that left-hand side space, would you rather that be Ake or Stones?
Am I being stupid? Has Ake just returned back from injury though?
He has only just returned back, but in a game like this, the magnitude of the game, people are saying, should we not be playing Ake?
I don't. Well, okay, we start him, he gets injured before the full match is up. That is a fact. That will happen.
It's highly possible.
Yeah. So I don't know why we'd do that.
I said I'd consider it if Diaz hadn't just come back from injury as well. But
yeah,
if you start in Diaz and Ake, you're starting two players that have literally been back in training for less than a week.
Yeah, I think that's madness.
I don't think that's a good idea. If Diaz hadn't been injured and Diaz had been playing loads, I'd consider risking Ake in this game. Yeah, but I don't think you can. I just think start Diaz and Stones. Stones will probably get injured at some point anyway, and then you can play Ake in the next game at the Bernabeu.
Yeah, exactly. That's the play, isn't it? So the back four should probably be Gvardiol, Stones, Diaz, and then we think Akanji, because the only other viable option is Nunes. And I like the concept of Nunes, but he's died. He allowed Trossards to do him, So I don't know what Vinicius Junior is going to say about that.
Yeah. I don't see it, man. I don't see it. It's going to be crazy, bro. Oh man,
I'm going to enjoy it because there's no pressure. Like we know we're shit. Who cares? Like
I know, but at the same time,
enjoy it. I'm chilling.
I want to believe that we can do it, man. I want to believe that we can do it. And
I'm chilling. I'm going to be just waiting to be proven, rightly or wrongly, by the players, and we'll see what they do.
I want Gonzalez to be fit, man, because if Gonzalez is fit, there's no excuses in it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, because if Gonzalez is fit, then that means that in theory we could build up, in terms of in possession, we could build up with the most solid 3-2 that is available at the club in the absence of Rodri, because we could have the back three of like Gvardiol, Diaz, Akanji, and then you can have Nico and Stones in the Stones role, for example, which is the most solid build-up structure that City have available. In which case, there is zero excuse to not be able to play out from the back and not be able to take the game to Madrid. So, if they are available, then there's no reason why we can't actually play quite well and get the ball to our attackers in dangerous areas, which is something that we've not seen nearly enough of all season. We've not seen at all against the best sides, unless they gift us those opportunities like a Chelsea or a Forest.
Yeah. No, I hear it, man. I hear it. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, bro. City Die says it's crunch time for all these players. It is crunch time. You're absolutely spot on, bro. I mean, obviously now, if we're looking at it, the FA Cup is now looking like a competition that we're probably favourites for.
Because no Arsenal, no Chelsea, no Liverpool.
United,
else? Yeah, but they United.
Newcastle unfortunately just won, which is annoying because they're going to be a threat.
Yeah, I think Forest is still in it, right?
Yeah, Forest are in it.
Yeah.
The draws tonight, so hopefully we can get a couple of those teams to play each other to knock some more out. Well, we're on the fifth round as well,
Yeah, if we could play like home against Exeter or something, that would be.
Yeah, we need an easy tie at home as well because it's in between. I think it's in between Spurs and Forest, so it's in between some tricky games there. So we could do with like an easier tie, and we could do with like Villa versus Newcastle. Yeah, and then
United versus Forest.
No. We want Brighton, Forest. Get Brighton, Forest, Villa, Newcastle, and then we're cooking. We're cooking there. that'll be decent, man. Because if we can win a trophy this year, man, the way the season's gone, that's very good, man. That's very
mental.
good if we can win a trophy this year, the way that we played. Because the way we played has been shambolic, man. We won 1 game in 13. If we can somehow win a trophy, that'd be unbelievable. You know, and an FA Cup now is looking like the legit trophy that we should target, man. Like we just need to make sure that we're getting that top 4. Get our top 4 or top 5 as it probably is.
Yeah.
And we can
it's
move
not
from there.
and it's a very good bad season given the signings, given the contract extensions as well. It's a very good bad season to have, 100%.
Yeah, facts. Big up to Don Perez. Our form isn't great at the minute. It's a 50-50 game, in my opinion, says Perez. Yeah, man, I don't really know what to expect, bro. I don't really know what to expect. Baleba, watch out. Oh, Baleba. Did you see Baleba against Chelsea?
I did not, but I'm sure he played brilliantly well because that's my boy.
Have you seen any of the clips on Twitter of him?
Oh, yeah, I've seen clips, yeah, but not the full game.
Oh, my days. This guy is a serious player, man.
I know. I know he is.
I'd love to get him at City, man. I'd love to get him at City. Get me Baleba and then get me a Verts.
Yeah, Baleba will cost Caicedo money and then some, I think. That's the prediction.
I'm willing to spend that.
That's really fair. Yeah, so would I.
It's not my money. It's not my money, but I don't really care. Bill to Louise says, would still paper over the cracks of this season if we get a trophy. It will, but the cracks are being fixed.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like we aren't like, United over the past few years where we're sort of hanging on by a thread and we sort of accept it. We're trying to have copium and think, no, this is fine. And the whole room around us is on fire. Like we've known since last season all these issues, and also the board, the most important people, also know these issues. So it might be in the short term papering over cracks, but long term we are putting fucking grouting into the tile holes, gaps. You get me?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Actually, go. You know what, mate? We didn't really speak about McAtee, but obviously Nobbins did mention him. There would need to be a large element of cash.
Yeah, around 100 million quid, I reckon.
I think McAtee's definitely being sold this summer. He's got 1 year left on his contract, and unfortunately, I just don't think he's going to get enough opportunities. And when he has had the opportunities, he's not really done enough for me. You know what I mean? And I've been a big fan of McAtee, but I think he was poor against Salford. I know people will be saying he scored a hat trick, but I think other than the actual goals,
I agree. To be honest,
he was actually poor. I think he was poor against Leyton Orient. I think he just kind of ghosted through the game. So I don't think he's going to be staying. I think he'll be sold in the summer. So maybe you go to Brighton and be like, listen, McAtee's worth 20 mil, 100 mil plus McAtee. What you're saying, and they might be open to that. Apparently McAtee were linked with him, like either this summer or the summer before. So it's not like they've never been linked with him. And he's a young player that they can develop. He sort of suits their type of player. You know what I mean? And I think, if you go to Brighton and maybe say, listen, what about 20 mil plus, 100 mil maybe plus McAtee? Were you open to the deal? They might do that. Because if McAtee has one good year for Brighton, bang, £60 million player. 50-60 million pound player. If he has one good year. Yeah. He's English, got that English tax, homegrown status, all that kind of shit. That is something that they might look at. Big up to Eddie. Says Ancelotti has been disappointed by his forward line, which does not press at all. They've not won a singular big game this season. If City are direct, win 100, says Eddie. Well, you want to go direct, then we need to make sure Edison's fit, mate.
Yes, and we'd also, sadly, those two things are opposing one another. If you're saying that Real Madrid aren't going to press us, then there's not going to be an opportunity to really go direct because those gaps and spaces aren't going to be there. Yeah. We'll see, man. We'll see. But you got to play Edison, man. Edison's got to be playing. Gianni says McAtee's not leaving, so stop the bullshit. Okay, we'll come back September the 1st. Yeah, or September the 3rd. I would be amazed if McAtee's still at this football club. I'm just going to be 30 seconds of the postman's here. Apologies.
Yeah, no worries. I don't know why are you so confident, Gianni, that McAtee's not leaving? He's got 1 year left on his contract. He's played hardly any minutes. Oh, he's been hating our stream. Oh, I don't know why he's been hating our stream. Why has he been hating our stream? I don't know why is No. See, the thing is, you obviously can't understand what I'm saying, bro. I've said plenty of times, all I want is for these academy players to get the chances. If they get the chance and they don't perform, see you later. I've said that a few times. McAtee's now had a few chances and he's not been good enough. So sell him. I am not emotionally attached to these academy players, yeah, but I want them to be given a chance. If they get given a chance and they're not good enough, see you later. And for me, McAtee's had a few chances now, and I don't think he's been particularly great. So I'm now open to selling him. McAtee's hardly played. Well, you've got to look at the game. All right, let's bring up his minutes then. Let's bring up his games, right? Let's bring up his games that he's played this season. I accept he's hardly played, but it's his responsibility, it's his job, yeah, to perform well when he's playing. Yeah, you're not going to get it handed to you on a plate, mate. Yeah, this is professional sport. Let's have a look at this. So PSG obviously not great. Feyenoord not great.
What is the sorry? What apologies? What is the discussion?
McAtee, we've got a bit of a debate going on in the chat. Some people are saying McAtee's definitely not going to leave. Stop the bullshit. Like they don't want to have the conversation. And oh my god, what is wrong with these people? How can he perform when he hardly gets to build any rhythm? I agree with this point that he needs to play more. Yeah, Rocket. The point is, he has started now 2 games in FA Cup against mediocre teams. Yeah, in Salford and Leyton Orient. And he has not performed well in either game. Now, I agree with you that in an ideal world, he needs to start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in a row to build up the rhythm. That's not going to happen. So when you get these chances, you've got to take them, and he's not taking them.
Yeah, and just on the whole starting situation, who's he going to start over? Is the question.
Well, my point on McAtee was I think he should have started way earlier in the season when both Kevin De Bruyne and Foden were out injured.
Sure, but generally speaking, who's he starting over? Because it's not going to be Kevin.
Bernardo
it's not going to be. But they don't play a similar position.
I quite happily play McAtee in any Bernardo Silva position.
But generally, we're talking about McAtee as a more advanced midfielder, aren't we? I've got to compare him to the more advanced midfielders. Who do we associate with? So that's Kevin, and that's Foden. So immediately that's 3. So immediately he's like at the absolute highest third. And then we've also got Oscar Bob coming back, who is better than McAtee. So realistically, in terms of
and you've got Echeverri coming in, who's better than McAtee.
I've not seen enough of Echeverri, but I will take your word for it. So what? Fifth choice attacking midfielder at the absolute highest
at the moment.
And does anyone, again, I know that we can't really quantify ceiling or potential, but does anyone really think that if McAtee starts all these games, does anyone really think he is going to eclipse Bob? Does anyone who has seen enough of Echeverri, as I say, I know I haven't, does anyone think he is going to eclipse Echeverri? He's obviously not eclipsing Kevin De Bruyne. He's obviously never going to eclipse Foden. Certainly not at City. So it's one of those situations, isn't it? So I agree that McAtee should have got more minutes at City, in like cameos and, like 15, 20 minutes if the game affords it. But I never quite understood when a couple of weeks or a couple of months ago when we had like Foden and Kevin available and people saying start McAtee in this big Premier League game. I was like, but why? Like he's not.
No, see, that's where I disagree. I would have started McAtee there. Because when you have no creative players...
No, but this when Foden and Kevin were available, people were saying...
Oh, when they're available. Right.
Yeah.
When they weren't available, I think he should have been given a chance. I think McAtee should have started in those games.
I'd go with that, yes.
Yeah, but he didn't. So if you can't get in the team when both of our main creative players are injured, that's a bit of a red flag. And then the facts are, he did play against Salford, he did play against Leyton Orient, he wasn't particularly great in another one. Now, you can glaze it if you want and say, well, he scored a hat-trick against Salford, which he did, but his overall game, other than the 3 goals, was extremely disappointing. I thought against Leyton Orient, he ghosted. So I think he will be sold in the summer. He could have want to play as well. This is a guy that wants to play football. He said this, it come out just before Christmas. This guy he wanted to leave. He wanted to leave in January because he wanted to play. And then all of a sudden, Pep started playing him. Why? Because they wanted to avoid another Cole Palmer situation. Do you know what I mean? And he played really well against Leicester. Fantastic, beautiful, brilliant bit of skill. I rate him. I actually rate him. Don't get it twisted. Yeah, people who watch me on
he's a Premier League player. Like he's
Oh,
good
all
enough
day
to play
long.
for a Premier League side, but
Yeah.
that's not the standard at City. The standard is Phil Foden. You know, the standard is Kevin De Bruyne. The standard is Oscar Bob. It's like, you know, are you good enough to start over these people or you know, and if you aren't, then you're going to have to be a squad option. And if you're happy being a squad option, then obviously that's wonderful and that's lovely. But I think we've just established he's not happy being a squad option. And if that is the conclusion, then the only outcome is that he must be sold. And that's not me saying I want him to be sold. I'd love him to stay and be happy with being a squad option. But that is ultimately, unless something massively changes in his game, that is all he will ever be at City. And
he don't want to be that. He wants to start, so he'll leave.
Exactly. And that sounds harsh, but I think that's fair.
Yeah, of course. I ain't got a problem with it. Absolutely, I've got no issues with it. He wants to play. He's 22 years old. He's not 19. He wants to play football.
That's the thing as well, yeah.
I'll say again to you, bro. I have a good debate on that, yeah? But if you're right, McAtee will be at this football club next summer. I can guarantee you now he is being sold this summer. Guarantee you. If you think he's staying, yeah, next year, delusional. He ain't staying next year. He's gone. He'll get a move and he'll go somewhere in England and he'll play regular team. He might even go Germany. There's loads of rumors coming out in January that like Leverkusen wanted him, Dortmund wanted him, Mainz. There was a big thing on Mainz. Chelsea apparently wanted him in the summer. So he will 100% be gone in the summer, mate, because he wants to play football. That's the truth.
That's the caveat, isn't it? If he wants to be a starter, he will be gone. Yes.
If he's happy playing 500 minutes in 66% of the season, he'll stay. He might stay. But I hazard a guess that McAtee at 22 years old, going on 23, yeah, probably wants to be playing more than 600 minutes. And by a large part of those are coming with 10 minutes off the bench, 15 minutes off the bench. He probably wants to be playing more. So let's see how he gets on. I rate him. I think he's a great player. But I think for him to get to his best, he needs to be playing regular. I don't think he's a type of player that can just come in for 10 minutes here or there, get the odd start, and he's going to be mint. I think he needs to play. And that's not going to happen at this football club. So he'll leave. The interesting one is Nico. Oh my God, bro. You know what's hilarious, Rocket? I don't know if you watch me. I'm going to hazard a guess that you don't watch my channel, bro, because you're arguing with something that I don't disagree with. Bro, I've been the biggest academy prop in this fan base all season. So I don't think you watch me on the reg, bro. I think you maybe just tuned in for the first time or something, or a new viewer, because I'm a massive fan of the academy. I've been saying all season we should be playing academy players. Yeah, I think it's wrong that McAtee has not been tried out properly this season. I said earlier in the year, it's a disgrace that he didn't play McAtee. But the thing is, yeah, I'm going off the facts now, and you're not. McAtee will be sold this summer. Do I agree with that? It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant whether I agree with it or not. Yeah, my opinion is I would have started McAtee 4 or 5 games in a row earlier in the season when Kevin De Bruyne and Foden were injured because we had no creativity. The truth is that didn't happen. I disagree with that. I call Pep out for it. But now he's playing. He's not really playing particularly well in the limited options he's going to get. He's got 1 year left on his contract. He's gone, bro. Crazy.
That opening gambit is also flawed in the same way that when people talk about Lavia, because there's no point saying he'll do well at another club. We're not denying that. We're saying that is totally irrelevant to the point of keep him at the club because he's not going to be able to play or get the minutes in the same way that it's like the Lavia one. We sold him in the treble winning year, right? I believe we did. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. He wasn't ever going to play a single minute over Rodri that year. You know, the year we won the treble. So that's a season wasted. Season after, he was injured for all of it, I believe. And even if he was available, who won the Ballon d'Or that year? It was our defensive midfielder. So he wouldn't have seen any action there anyway. He wouldn't have been able to develop into the player that he is right now. I think he keeps getting injured anyway. But you see the sentiment. You can't. There are different. You can't have a different parallel reality and then still wind up at the same conclusion of the former parallel reality. Go watch Back to the Future 2. The conclusions are not the same.
I've not watched that for ages.
Oh, it's my favorite trilogy. The conclusions cannot be the same if the paths are different.
That's very good, bro.
Like, you know, does that make sense though?
Oh, it makes perfect sense. Yeah. That was very good.
Thank you, mate. Are you utilizing Marty McFly and Doc?
Yeah.
From the sci-fi classic
floating skateboard thing. Yeah, great films, man. Great. I don't watch that for years, you know. I've not watched that for years. I might have to download
get on it
legally, of course.
On it. Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Within the confines of the law, absolutely.
Yeah, of course, man. But yeah, listen, good debate that anyway, Rocket. Big up to you, bro. Yeah, it's a Nobbins masterclass. Yeah, there we go, bro. We told Lavia before we triggered Calvin Phillips, but like, yeah, I know. I've always said though, I've explained this plenty of times. It's just my theory, but I think City saw this as a financial deal rather than player for player.
Sorry, this is just a lie. By the way, I wasn't even making content consistently when the Phillips deal happened. So what the fuck's that all about, Sunshine? I did not make a video on Calvin Phillips.
And Nobbins did not have a channel when he signed, so that's a lie.
Oh no, I had a channel, but I wasn't like, you know, properly, you know, like I do with like I was more like Twitch and whatnot. Like I wasn't making analysis videos. I didn't go, why Calvin Phillips to City is the next Michael Carrick. I didn't do that, Sunshine. So you can hold that and you can shush. Don't spread malicious defamation of character about me, Sonny Jim lad. Yeah? Less of that. Also, less of the old caps. Yeah?
Yeah, the caps, man.
You're peaking right now. You're at about 11. I need to take it down to about a 3. Yeah? Take it down to about a 3. You're peaking right now. Thank you.
But the thing is, on this one, I've explained this before. I think City saw this as a financial deal where they said, we can sell Lavia for 15 million, 20% buyout sell-on clause. It'll probably get sold for 40, 50 million. That's an extra 10 million. We're effectively getting 25 million for a guy that's hardly ever played for us. Meanwhile, we're signing Phillips for 40. I just think they saw it as like a financial deal. What they failed to do, they failed to actually consider, is this guy good enough? And obviously the answer was no. And no one, and there was very few City fans that actually really wanted Calvin Phillips because he's so slow. But yeah, anyway, I need to go because I'm on Saeed's channel. Good debate this morning, guys. Hopefully that's got you up and ready to attack the day and focus on your jobs, guys. You're all alert now. Yeah, I'm on Saeed's channel now. There's a lot to cook. We got to cook. Who are we cooking? Who lost? Liverpool lost. They're getting cooked. Who else lost? Chelsea lost. They're getting cooked. Did United get beat? Well, United won.
No, they won with a very dodgy last-minute winner, which was offside.
Yes. Yeah, there we go, man. There we go. It was dodgy. Oh, Spurs lost. Yeah, big up to you, man. Listen, I'll redirect you over to Saeed, man. I might as well, given the fact he's like, are you going live? Are you live?
No.
All right. I'll redirect to Saeed then. We'll cook some mutants. But yeah, big up to you, man. Good debate this morning, guys, man. Good debate. Smash up the likes on the way out. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel as well if you're new. We're back on this channel, 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock, FA Cup live draw. Who are we going to get? Are we going to get an easy team or are we getting Villa or Newcastle? Yeah, we really don't want. So make sure you join me 7 p.m. I get the stream scheduled. Also, guys, Echeverry watch along tonight. Again, why don't you watch it tonight? 10:30, bro.
I might have commitments. Yeah, I do have commitments.
Wow.
Sorry.
Putting Echeverry aside for commitments.
I'm sorry, I apologize. I will properly scout him all in due time, and there will be an analysis video when that happens as well.
Yes! Echeverry analysis video coming soon, Braze. Buzzing. Yeah, that'll be on the second channel, though, guys. More LB tonight. 10:30 kickoff. Argentina. I think they're playing Paraguay. I can't really remember, to be honest with you. I need to check who they're playing, man. But yeah, Echeverry, player of the tournament so far. And we'll continue our scouting mission tonight for Eche, Messi, and Subiabre. But yeah, big up to you guys. Smash the likes on the way out. And we'll catch you in the next one. See you later.